Hello, I'd like to illustrate what you can do by going to phylotastic.org and clicking on the link for the Phylotastic web portal, which provides 3 workflows for getting species phylogenies. We'll start with extracting from a document. So recently I noticed a paper about the cetacea, the whales and dolphins, and their relationship to other mammals, including the hippopotamus. And I downloaded that and saved it as a file called whales.pdf. So I'm just going to select that now from my desktop and click Submit, and what's happening is that this file is getting sent to an existing service provided by the Global Names Project that will extract text from a PDF and look for scientific name. So here's the list. I can choose species only, or I can choose all the names, and then click on this button called Get Tree in order to get a tree. And this takes a few seconds to retrieve and display a tree that's from OpenTree. Now I'm just going to click on this link, Load All Images here, to get some thumbnail images from Encyclopedia of Life that helps us to see what we have here if you're not familiar with scientific names. So here we have up here, obviously, whales and dolphins, and here's the hippopotamus as the closest relative, and then we have terrestrial mammals down here. And if we want to find out more about any of these, so for instance the hippopotamus, we can click on a link to read the information page at the Encyclopedia of Life. Now, suppose we want to make this more interesting. Let's make this a lesson about the repeated evolution of aquatic mammals. Not just the whales and dolphins shown here, but also there's 2 other groups, the seals and sea lions on the one hand, and also the manatee and dugong. So first we'll go back to the list that we created here, and we're going to click the download button. This creates a simple text file with 1 name per line. So now we're going to look at that. This is a slightly edited version of that. I've cut out some of the names to make it simpler. And I'm going to add some names here. Here's the dugong and the manatee with the elephant as an outgroup. And here's some seals and sea lions. And I've misspelled one of the names, so I can show you how to fix that later. So now let's create a new list. Previously we used extract from doc. Now I'm going to use upload my list. I have a text file with 1 name per line, so I'm just going to choose that file. It's called list.txt, and we'll call this now aquatic mammals. So here's our list. I didn't mention this tab before, but there's an unmatched tab that tells us names that were not matched. So here Elephas minimus should actually be Elephas maximus. We can edit the name, click on the resolve button, and there it matches. And now it's going to appear in this list, and we'll click Get Tree. We'll call this aquatic mammals now. It takes a few seconds again to get the tree and render it. We'll load all of the images. And up here we have the seals and sea lions with the rest of the carnivores, bears, and so on as an outgroup. So let's put a box around those. Down here we have the cetacea, there's the baleen whales, and there's the toothed whales with the hippopotamus as outgroup. So let's put a box around those as well. And then down here the dugong and the manatee with the elephant as outgroup, and we'll put a box around those. So we can export this, we can save it as text, what's called a Nuix string here, or we can save it as an image. I'm just going to choose PNG. It's going to generate a link here and open it up, and I could just, here's our tree, and I could just save this to my desktop. Okay, I'm going to go back to home. We used extract from doc, extract from web. Works similarly. We just did upload my list. The last workflow here is choose from a taxon. So let's name a taxon, let's say rodents, and we can sample from that group by country, or let's do by known genomes. This is going to use NCBI services to find which rodents have genomes. So here's our list, and getting a tree will be just like we did previously. Everything that I've done so far, I've done this without logging in. I'm treated as a guest, but I have my lists here. These lists will persist. The trees that I created and the list that I created will persist here as long as my browser remembers this session. If I want to save things permanently, I will need to log in with my Google credentials. Okay, on behalf of the Phylotastic team, I'd like to thank you for listening. My name's Arlen. We encourage you to use the portal and our other services. And if you have a question or you encounter a problem or you just like to make a comment, you can click on the feedback link here. Thanks.